The Shrine of Savras is one of the adventures in the Dragon of Icespire Peak that you won't find a quest for inside the box for the Dungeons & Dragons Essentials kit. This means a Dungeon Master might have to find other ways to point the players this way, but it also makes this one even more modular than the already pretty modular batch of adventure locations in this book. And by that I mean, a lot like Tower of Storms, it is easy to drag and drop this one into a different campaign or your own homebrew creation and adjust it to fit. That's how I've used this one in the past, and I'll probably do it again. Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Doyle, and this is the Verdigris Table where I've run a lot of campaigns of Dungeons & Dragons and had a lot of fun doing it, and now I use it to spread the love of D&D and help you get ready to run your own game. We've been focused in on the Dragon of Icespire Peak. Check out the channel for the rest of this playlist and more DM prep videos, and while you're poking around down there, you should definitely hit subscribe so you're here for the next big thing. Maybe even hit that bell so you don't miss it. We've got a couple of options to get the player characters pointed at the Shrine of Savras. There is a rumor on the Phandalin Tales table, and I drop a version of it if the characters are asking around town for ways to make more gold, or maybe even when they try to negotiate a discount at Barthens or Lion Shield Costers. Toblin Stonehill, Big Al, or especially the tall tale-telling Don John Raskin could also deliver the story about the doomed townsfolk hiding their gold at this shrine. The were-rats and the mountains to gold mines seem like the most likely avenue to the Shrine of Savras. It was their old home base until the orcs chased them out. These are the same orcs chased down from Icespire Hold by Cryovane, who've now allied themselves with the Anchorites of Talos, which is how both of those quests fit into the larger campaign. Throughout this series, I've been trying to give you alternatives to the job board for each quest. But if you and your players like that mechanic, maybe you enjoy the ease with which it helps you structure your game, that's great. Do it up. You could easily make up a quest card for this one as well as something that goes up on the job board or is just like an out-of-game tool. However we get our players headed this way, we've likely got some traveling to do before we reach Conyberry and the shrine. This is a chance to show the dragon flying overhead, or maybe a strange and hyper-localized lightning storm out on the horizon, or maybe the manticore from Umbridge Hill flies by and trades some info if the party left things on remotely good terms, and if not, maybe the manticore, perhaps with a partner beside it, attacks, and the PCs get to show how much they've grown since level 1. When we do arrive at the temple, the book tells us it's in the middle of this vast field, making it impossible to sneak up in daylight without the sentry up on S6, spotting the party and alerting the whole place. The adventure seems to want the PCs to wait until nightfall, which can be very dramatic for a stealth mission and forces lighting and dark vision to really come into play. And if you like that idea, I would just have the PCs show up at night as clouds obscure the moon instead of hoping they wait around all day. Alternatively, you can ignore the book and say there is a chance to approach this place undetected. I mean, are these orcs mowing the lawn here? Grazing sheep? You could even scatter around bushes and trees and rocks, ditches, whatever you like. Maybe it's a high DC to go undetected, but maybe the players wise up and make a big loop around to approach from the southwest and put the 40-foot high shrine between them and the 20-foot high tower. These crumbling walls around this place not only allow multiple ways in, it also provides opportunities for characters to take cover and hide, even climb to a higher vantage, and that might be handy when combat breaks out. This quest provides a roster of enemies so that we can scale this one, whether the party is level 1 all the way up to level 6, and that's awesome. And I wish more published content did that, especially in a non-linear sandboxy adventure like this one. The only problem is this table is wildly difficult, and if you use it, you'll probably kill everybody. Today's bonus resource isn't another YouTube channel, it's Kobold Fight Club. Yep. Some of you may know that this is actually the second incarnation creation of this wonderfully useful website where you can input your party composition and the enemies, and it will tell you what kind of encounter difficulty you're looking at. As you can see at level 4 and level 5, when I think you'll most likely run this one, this setup is off the charts deadly. Now, if you take any dungeon and add the encounters all together, you're likely going to be looking at similar results, because the idea is usually that the party will face multiple distinct encounters with a short rest or two in there between. In this case, we probably aren't seeing the party rest before the whole place is cleared. We talked about using waves and titrating in enemies back in the Butterskull Ranch video, and we could arrange things that way here, but as written, all of the enemies are camped out in this courtyard. Now, I could certainly see an argument for putting at least some of them, I don't know, inside this building instead of sleeping on the lawn, but even then you're only buying maybe an additional round of combat between the alarm going up and these orcs dashing in with their aggressive ability. If we're having the enemies charge out into the field, then we can kind of treat inside of the walls as a black box with exactly as many enemies as we need when we need them. But even breaking up this combat into stages, I'd still reduce the orcs and the ogres. I cooked this up in Kobold Fight Club and it feels way more reasonable, but go tinker with it yourself. I think you'll find it super useful. Links in the description down below. Now, in the last video, I said I like this adventure, but so far I've mostly been finding fault with it. So you may be wondering why you should even include it instead of cutting it out or feeding it to the Stone Cold Reavers to make them relevant. And first I'll say, sure, you can do that. I want to give you options, not tell you what to do. It's your world, baby. But the reason I like this one is because of what's going on inside of this dilapidated building. The bell that is secretly 50 pounds of solid gold and the Altar of Fate are fantastic features to include in your campaign. A super valuable treasure, more valuable, in fact, than the non-existent Dragon's Hoard at the end of the adventure. Don't worry, we'll get there. A beautiful treasure hiding in plain sight is great, in my opinion. The iron bell rusting away in one of those guard towers in the corner is a big clue, but I might also reward like a high perception check with a glint of gold up in the belfry, or better yet, maybe peeling paint chips that have fallen to the floor. If the players totally strike out in S7, you can give them another clue or the entire story of the bell and what happened here in S10 using the Altar of Fate. I love this thing, but I don't love the very low perception check to see that it moves so the PCs can find some gold and the mystery key. I'm all for handing out a treasure, but I also like my world to make sense. And if the orcs have been here for a bit and the were-rats were here for who knows how long before that, somebody would have found this thing, especially with rumors of treasure hiding here going around. In my game, I actually had holes dug all over the yard where the were-rats had dug for buried treasure. I'm not sure if I made it up or I heard it somewhere. It is all over the place online, so I couldn't really track down a source. Maybe a bunch of us came up with it independently. We can move this mystery key to somewhere else we should have some better treasure, and forego this 57 gold pieces if touching that altar shows the party where they can find 2,500 gold. You can use the Altar of Fate to do just about anything, really. Now, as written, the first character who touches it is getting the Google Street View GPS directions to Icespire Hold, where Cryovane awaits. And depending on where we are in this campaign and what level the player characters are at that point, we might actually not want to send them up there just yet. So what I would consider doing is take full advantage of this opportunity to commune with an all-seeing god of divination. Think about what you want to convey to the characters at this stage of the game. And you can have it affect all of the characters if you like, not just the one who touches it as written. Is there some clue they've missed or backstory elements you want to incorporate, but we're uncertain how? Go nuts here. Maybe even give each PC their own vision or different pieces of a puzzle to assemble. You could even put it in writing so it's harder for them to forget. Without knowing your PC's backstories or when they'll arrive here, I would just suggest considering delivering visions of that second batch of follow-up quests as well as the location of the dragon. You could even show the doomed townsfolk of Coneybury hiding their gold in the belfry in some pre-fated plan to lure the characters here years later so that they receive this message. I'd show them recovering the magic sword from Dragon Barrow and using it to clear Axholme for the townsfolk to shelter, maybe even include dark clouds gathering on the horizon, or straight up show them Gorthok the Thunderboar tearing through falcons, or even Phandalin. Maybe that feels a little railroady to you, or maybe it sounds awesome. You do you. A lot of Dungeon Masters will deliver cutscenes to the players that their characters might not have a reason to witness, especially at like the beginning and the end of a session. But for me personally, I've always liked to have an in-game reason for those moments, so I really sink my teeth into opportunities like this when they come up. I'd love to hear what your approach to all of this is down in the comments below. The more perspectives, the better, and you could give me or another viewer some great ideas to include at our tables. You know I'm all about that, so here's one more idea you can take or leave. When this bell comes down, it's probably going to make a hell of a lot of noise, right? And even if it doesn't, it's going to take some time and effort for the PCs to get it home. So consider having Cryovane swooping in and stealing it. The dragon's been off in the background unless it came up on the roll table, so this is a great way to make it front and center. It also makes the players hate it with a burning passion. You ever want the players to go after a bad guy, have them steal their stuff. It also provides the added benefit of having some treasure up there on that mountain waiting. Even if you don't have Cryovane steal this bell, I'd recommend having some reward waiting at the end of a campaign when the dragon is slain. We'll talk about it when we get there. Won't be long now, actually, but first we're going to prep the last batch of follow-up quests built for level 5 and level 6. I will see you there. Until then, have fun, be kind, and thanks so much for watching.